In the future, people will try to stay immortal in three different ways: cybernetically enhanced humans, cyborgs, artificially intelligent beings, synths, and synthetic beings downloaded with human consciousness, hybrids. Among these, which technology prevails will determine what corporation rules the universe. In the year 2012-20, the research vessel USCSS Majinino, owned by the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, drifts far from home. For 65 years, it has been on a continuous mission, gathering all manner of biological samples, some preserved, others still alive. The ship remains more than 800 million miles from Earth, with several months of travel ahead. The crew emerges from cryo-sleep. After waking up, they all gather to eat. As they ate, they talked about the companies back in Earth. Earth is dominated by 4 major corporations, but a rising competitor, Prodigy, has begun challenging the old balance of power, threatening to reshape the hierarchy that has ruled for decades.
North and South America.
On the moon, right?
No, that's Dynamic.
Dynamic holds control over the moon, while Yutani has claimed Mars and Saturn. Prodigy was started by a young man a while ago, and it specializes in synths and AI. It was started 10 years ago.
Still don't get it.
Poor baby.
Mr. Tang.
Then they noticed Mr. Tang was acting weird. One of them asked if he had checked the nav computer and asked how long it was to Earth's orbit. He told her 4 months.
Comms are down. Looks like the log files are corrupted.
The captain then told them comms are down and log files are corrupted. They are also using too much fuel, so they need to decide which system to shut down. One engineer proposes destroying the specimens outright, but Morrow, the ship's synthetic crew member, shuts down the idea immediately. These creatures, after all, are the very reason for the mission's existence.
We lost a lot of good men getting them. And for what?
The engineer retaliated, saying that many men died trying to get those specimens and doubted if it was even worth it. But Morrow repeated what he said and warned that he could restrict him to his corners and add extra security around the specimens. After this, Morrow told the others to wake him on a final approach and go back to his cryosleep. The others also prepare to sleep. As the door closes, Morrow keeps having flashbacks. Meanwhile on Earth, the focus shifts to Prodigy. Operating from a private research island called Neverland, the corporation is led by Boy Cavalier, a trillionaire whose empire is built on synthetic life and cloning technology. A young girl, Marcy, looks at a scorpion and asks a man next to her, Kirsch, what they are going to do with it.
Squash it, so it doesn't sting you.
She suggests squashing it, but Kirsch asks her to imagine what the scorpion must feel like. It is trapped under the glass with humans surrounding it.
As a scorpion must feel, trapped under glass.
As they talked, a scientist, Dame Sylvia, approached and told her it was time to sleep. Marcy asks if they really need to do that. Kirsch also encouraged her, telling her he'd be there when she wakes up.
Are you gonna kill it?
Do you want me to?
Before going with Dame, Marcy asks Kirsch if he's going to kill the scorpion, and Kirsch asks if she wants him to. But Marcy doesn't want him to kill the scorpion. Then she walked into the lab with Dame.
No.
Another scientist greeted her. Cavalier's most recent project centers on Marcy, whose failing body is about to get replaced with a synthetic one known as Wendy. As the two scientists talked, Marcy walked to the synthetic body and looked at it.
Oh, there she is.
Dame walked towards her, and Marcy asked if that is what she is going to look like after the transfer, and Dame confirmed.
Okay. Welcome in. Mushy mushy.
Then Cavalier walked into the lab with a smile. He greeted Marcy and sat to talk with her. He asked if she knows Neil Armstrong, and she told him he was an astronaut. He then corrected her, telling her that he is not just any astronaut, but the astronaut who set foot on the moon for the first time. Now she is going to be the first human to transition from a human body to a synthetic one.
Do you want to see a magic trick? Yeah.
Then Dame told her to get on the table. Marcy hesitated, asking to see her brother, but Dame told her she can see him after she wakes up. Marcy fears that her brother won't be able to recognize her when she wakes up, but Dame encouraged her, and she gave in. She got on the table. Then the transfer begins. All Marcy's memories are transferred to Wendy. Then finally Wendy opened her eyes. The brain transfer works, creating a rare hybrid of human consciousness and artificial form. Marcy now inhabits an adult synthetic body capable of surviving long falls, moving at incredible speed, and learning at a rapid pace. Yet despite her new abilities, she still struggles to adapt to the unfamiliar form she now calls her own.
They're quiet now.
The human body manufactures hormones.
Prodigy's engineers attempt to ease her transition by crafting an artificial version of adolescence, hoping to make the shift less overwhelming. Still, the truth remains. She will never experience genuine emotions, and her body will remain unchanged by time.
So what am I? If I'm not human?
Hearing Dame and Kirsch argue about her being a human, she asks what she really is. Kirsch simply told her that she can be whatever she wants to be. Dame then told her Wendy is not the only child on Neverland. More arrivals are brought in, each destined to undergo their own transformation. Prodigy intends for her to act as a mentor, a big sister to guide them through the process of achieving immortality.
Listen now, gear up.
When the children arrive, Wendy shows them around. Wendy told them about her transition and what Prodigy does. Cavalier deliberately selects children for these experiments, believing their developing minds are flexible enough to adapt, unlike adults, whose thinking he claims is too rigid. The children keep asking questions, which she answers with ease. Then finally, the children are taken to the lab for the transition. They all lie on the table side by side with their new synthetic, and the transition begins. Far from Earth, chaos erupts aboard the Majinino. Sirens blare as containment fails, and the dangerous specimens escape. The ship becomes a slaughterhouse. Crew members are cut down one by one. One of them runs to where Morrow is and asks to be let in, but Morrow simply seals the entrance and transmits word of the disaster to Earth. The vessel is now on a collision course with the planet, and with a xenomorph roaming free, the stakes are catastrophic. Morrow offers up his fellow crew to the alien without hesitation. He then gets in a pod and locks it. In Prodigy City, New Siam, Wendy develops a fixation on a man named Joe, an employee of the corporation. She watches him through security feeds, driven by a connection from her past.
He's really good at it, too.
Joe is actually Marcy's brother. After her transformation, Prodigy told him she had died, but her lingering childhood mind still remembers and idolizes him. This attachment shapes much of her behavior, even within her advanced synthetic form. She kept looking at him, enjoying the moment. The next day, Joe goes to work and stands talking to his colleagues, but this moment is shattered when the Majinino crash lands in the center of the city. Armed response teams mobilize quickly, Joe among them, and move toward the wreck to search for survivors. They all rush to get inside. Medic team and armed soldiers scattered in the vessel. They keep calling for anyone inside, but there is no answer. Inside the ruined vessel, they discover carnage. Lifeless crew members scattered through the corridors. As they kept walking, they wondered what kind of vessel this was. Seeing all the damaged equipment there, they deduce it must be a science vessel. The sole survivor is Morrow, who wastes no time contacting Mother, the ship's AI, to inform Wayland headquarters that intruders have boarded. He makes for the armory, prepared to hold out until reinforcements arrive.
Moving to the armory and we'll secure the site until reinforcements can arrive.
Meanwhile, Wendy is in training. She asked Arthur, her trainer, why he doesn't have kids. He started telling her that he can't. As they are talking, Wendy notices the surveillance footage and sees the rescue team is currently in the crushed vessel. She quickly went to Cavalier and urged him to send her to the ship. He finally agrees and she rushes to get prepared. She then goes to the other synths and tells them they have a rescue mission. Then they all go out with the leadership of Kirsch. Morrow eventually hears the two first responders, Hoyt and Anant, in the ship's lab. Unaware of the danger creeping toward them, they kept going. Seeing the container of the specimen, they wondered what it was. Morrow then arrives and holds the pair at gunpoint, forces them to disarm, and secures them to a pipe. They tried to talk him out of it, but Morrow doesn't care. He asks where Cavalier is, and they tell him they don't know.
Oh, shit. Hey, this is Cyborg.
After transmitting another message, Morrow walked out. Elsewhere, a second search team, Rashidi, Siberian, and Joe, nicknamed Hermit, comes across the cryochamber. Signs of a chestburster are evident, but they fail to spot a facehugger lurking in a nearby chamber. They move on, unaware of the threat behind them.
Hey! We're in here!
While Hoyt and Anand are restrained, a creature slips inside Hoyt's suit, killing him immediately. It then moved to Anand, killing both before they could defend themselves. Meanwhile, Wendy is in a ship with Kirsch. They are about to go to the crash site. Kirsch starts talking about how humanity's life is short. He starts telling her that humans have always been food in the food chain. Then their brains start to evolve and they all start building new technologies.
You die.
Kirsch thinks everyone will die eventually. Wendy sat next to him and told him her brother is not going to die. She is going to save him no matter what. Joe, Siberian, and Rashidi push deeper into the wreck, eventually reaching the medbay. The scene is grim. Signs of suffocation victims lie alongside evidence of chestburster attacks.
Some kind of toxin.
They tried to figure out how they died. They looked around, but there was nothing they could dictate. Siberian urges them to keep moving. They kept going, but Joe recognizes the implication. The foreign bodies once inside the crew mean only one thing: aliens. They opened the door and found a staircase. They discussed which way to go. Joe suggests they go down. Despite the danger, they continue downward through the stairwells.
Well, I really like Wendy because I know that she's like a big sister to me.
Back on Neverland, Dame Sylvia listens to recordings of the children describing their dreams and ambitions. She views their existence as the key to ending death itself and hopes to improve their lives beyond that.
I think it'll be worth it.
As she is looking, Cavalier walks in behind her. The two of them started talking about what they achieved. He thinks what they are doing is exploding human potential. She then told him they achieved what no one can achieve. Now what remains is making the quality of life better, because if they don't, it means they just made consumers immortal.
Or ego, but do you know what I really want?
But Cavalier wants to talk to someone who is smarter than him. He thinks the children have the potential to be the person he wants them to be. He wants to give Wendy a supercomputer for a brain and train her well. Then finally he would get what he wants. Meanwhile, Wendy and the others are going to the crash site. One boy asked her what to expect and she reassured him, telling him not to think about it. She then told him about her brother, who is currently at the crash site. He is not like them, so he can bleed and die. That is why she is doing all this.
And we burn him on this fire, which is very holy.
Then they are told to get ready because they are about to land. Back at the crash site, Joe, Siberian, and Rashidi keep going. They encountered a hole in the middle, and they were forced to jump to the other side.
Don't you fucking drop me!
But before Joe jumps, a xenomorph appears from above and strikes. Joe tries to jump, but the xenomorph catches him. A chase ensues. Joe narrowly escapes, diving into an elevator to hide, but the encounter leaves him cut off from both Rashidi and Siberian. He immediately sends a transmission asking for help.
Approximately 8 feet tall. Armor.
This comes at a low point for Joe. Just the day before, he had been ready to walk away from Prodigy entirely. Even though he still has 7 months left in the contract, he wants to keep his promise to his father to go back to med school. In flashbacks, Wendy is shown secretly monitoring him and even managing to alter the code of the bot he's speaking with. Cavalier and the team were mesmerized. The modification fails, and Joe's resignation is ultimately rejected.
Thank you, Prodigy Medic Hermit. Your request has been denied.
When Wendy and the team called the Lost Boys arrive at the crash site, Wendy hears something the others didn't. She recognized it as some sort of buzz sound. Cavalier monitors all this from the lab. Most of the team heads inside to search. Wendy looks through the surveillance until she locates Joe. She saw him in an elevator and she asked which floor he was on. He was on floor 65 and she rushed there.
Assess the damage, rescue survivors. I want GPS on wounded. Report it back to command.
Kirsch then assigns Slightly to go with her and assigns the others another role. Back in Neverland, Cavalier received a call from Yutani.
You have something that belongs to me.
She told him that he has something that belongs to her, but Cavalier reminds her it fell from the sky and crashed into one of his buildings. He asked if there is anything they need to know about the crashed vessel, but Yutani simply told him it is a research vessel and everything inside is proprietary. With that being said, she asked to send a team to take everything that belongs to them.
Still too unstable.
And I'm afraid I must insist.
Cavalier gave a reason, saying that the tower is not secured yet. Despite Yutani's resistance, he simply told her that they can't send a team to Prodigy's territory without his permission. He told her lawyers can talk to his and ended the call abruptly.
I want what's on that ship.
In the lab, the Lost Boys keep searching. Wendy and Slightly also keep looking for Joe. Wendy keeps hearing a sound that she can't exactly point out. The Lost Boys, along with Kirsch, stumble across a species. Nib suggests they kill it, but Toodles reminds her that scientists don't kill. Kirsch also warns of the dangers of extraterrestrial species.
See if you can find something to capture it with.
He then orders Curly, Nibs, and Smee to find something they can capture the species with. The three of them started looking around and stumbled upon the grotesque space insect seen before, along with an unsettling, tentacled eyeball identified as Species 64. After a tense struggle, they managed to trap it beneath a heavy metal container, though the capture is far from secure. Meanwhile, Wendy and Slightly press forward toward the elevator where Joe is still hiding. Wendy keeps hearing an odd buzzing in her head as they move. Wendy finds a bag on the ground and follows that path to find Joe. Then they see scratching on the wall. The scratching looks like a bear claws.
Rashidi, Siberian. Does anybody read me?
Joe keeps calling for help and finally finds another team member, Bergerfeld. He told him about the animals he found. Then they hear a sound from a room nearby. They knocked and a man with a costume opened the door. They were the wealthy civilians, and they are having a gathering. Bergerfeld told the man that they are evacuating the building and they need to leave, but the man brushed it off, telling him Cavalier can personally call him to tell him that. The man closed the door on them. Then suddenly a xenomorph appears from behind. It killed Bergerfeld immediately. Then it gets inside and it tears through the gathering of the wealthy civilians. Joe gets inside and witnesses the massacre. Suddenly, a xenomorph jumped towards him. Against all odds, he survives unharmed, protected by little more than sheer luck. Morrow is the first to confront the creature, subduing it with an electric shock before immobilizing it in a growing cocoon of strange gel. He incapacitates Joe as well and takes the creature with him. Kirsch and Toodles keep looking at the species. Smee called from the other room, and Kirsch went to where they were. They are still holding the creature inside a bucket. Kirsch then goes to the computer to see what kind of vessel it is. He realized that it is a research vessel, and they were collecting specimens. Before Morrow can secure the situation, soldiers arrive at the elevator shaft and threaten Morrow at gunpoint. The distraction gives the xenomorph a chance to break free, killing everyone in its path except Morrow. Morrow turns and witnesses the slaughter behind him. On one of the monitors, Kirsch spots a containment area filled with alien eggs. Without hesitation, he orders Smee to go down alone and investigate. Wendy and Slightly arrive at the site where the soldiers were killed. They both think a bear is doing all this.
Why?
Warrior mode.
Ugh.
Meanwhile, Joe wakes up and sees the destruction all over the place. The gathering was a party for Reggie Jackson, a famous tennis player. As he looks at the tennis ball signed by Reggie Jackson, he starts having flashbacks about his father.
What are the odds?
Following the trail of blood, Wendy and Slightly find Joe. Wendy asked who he was talking to, and he told her he was talking to his father. Wendy confusedly points out no one is in the room. Joe then started to explain what he meant by that.
We used to watch the old highlight reels together. He called it proof.
Joe then realizes the two are synthetic. As they talk, Kirsch calls Wendy and tells them to come immediately because he needs them to secure a cargo. Wendy wants to stay, but Kirsch insists that it can't wait, so she asks Joe to come with them. After some hesitation, he agrees to leave with them. They go back to the vessel, walking through the debris. As they talk, Joe starts asking questions. Slightly started telling him how they were transferred to the synthetic body.
Don't you dare.
That's your sister.
Slightly. Secret. Go!
Amidst this, Joe learns the truth. Marcy's mind has been placed inside Wendy's synthetic body. Wendy orders Slightly to go away and approaches Joe to explain.
All the time. On the screens, I watch you go to work.
She started telling him what happened. He couldn't believe what he was hearing because he attended the funeral of his sister. Then she explains that Cavalier approached her father when she was sick and proposed this alternative. But she can't go back to her house, so they needed to pretend that she was dead.
They said I was special.
Though skeptical at first, Joe accepts it, and they keep going. As they walk, Joe starts asking her questions from their past. These memories are the only ones Marcy can know. Wendy answers all of them, and he finally realizes that Wendy is actually his sister. The two embraced. Slightly calls for Joe and Wendy. When the two go to where he was, they find the floor littered with eggs. Before they can act, the xenomorph strikes, seizing Joe and hurling him over the ship's edge into the depths below.
Stay here! Look at me! Stay safe! Guard the omelet!
Without a second thought, Wendy charges after him. She tries to calm Slightly and runs to where Joe was taken to. Slightly stands there, confused on what to do.